William Adair, gilder, conservator, and frame historian, will share his knowledge and expertise about the frames in the Krieger collection. Bill founded the Gold Leaf Studios in 1982. The studios concentrate on conservation of gilded artifacts, fabrication of carved wood, and architectural gilding. Internationally known, some of Bill's clients include Anderson House, the Baltimore Museum of Art, the Cincinnati Art Museum, the Corcoran, Phillips, National Gallery of Art, and embassies including Denmark, France, Germany, and Japan. But that just gives you a taste of the work that he's done. And now it is my pleasure to present to you William Adair, who will speak to you about the variety of frames in the Krieger Museum.
Okay, we're here looking at this beautiful Monet painting, and it has a frame that I've discovered is actually an antique frame. It's not a new frame, it's an older frame that's been given a new life. And the way I discovered this is I examined it very carefully, and in the center points, here, and there, you can see where the surface is slightly different. So the frame has been cut down or expanded, I don't know quite which, but it has been adapted for this painting. And so here you can see exactly where the frame changes and the color differences. It's been expanded here. Normally these things are cut, and sometimes you have to put a piece of wood in. For example, this little bit cross strap right here had to be carved. And what makes it so successful is the fact that the frame has a lot of underlayment colors, a pink, a white, a gray, and the gold is scrubbed away quite typically with water to scrub it down to clean off the accretions of age. And from this, the result of this is a finish that ends up looking quite beautiful with Monet's painting, where you have a lot of the subtle purple and the gray and the pink tones that are actually complemented or enhanced by having this frame. The technique of the frame when it was first made is called granito, or stamping, with metal stamps. In Italian it's called grain, or granito. And this technique gives a lot of subtle surface movements that you really look for in the canvas. So there's a lot of dynamics that go hand in hand with the painting and the frame working so beautifully together. So here we are in front of another beautiful Monet painting with a frame that's an antique frame again. And the reason I can tell that is because you can see where the frame has been expanded in 4 areas. And very often with these Régence or Louis XIV style frames is areas where you can actually cut the frame. Very typical to do to give these old frames some new life. In addition to the fact that it's been resized, it has been refinished by scrubbing it down, and this technique is called décaper, or knock the tops off. And you can see where this whitewash has been put into the background to really pick up some of the subtle tonalities of the canvas and the grays and the whites in it. So this is very calculated, this finish, and it's the kind of thing that Monet and his contemporaries like to do with their canvases. The linen liner that you see here is an addition that was typically done by the Kriegers. It was something that was considered to be de rigueur, that it was standard to do, and their terminology of the day was that they said it gave the painting an area to breathe. So you can think about that in the context of the wall coverings that you have here that actually match the linen on the liner. So the total ensemble is a period room, period frame that's been readapted to the taste of the Kriegers in the 1960s. So here is a beautiful Pissarro painting with a frame on it that actually is a brand new frame. It's an imitation Régence style frame. And what's interesting about it is it's got this finish, this scrubbed finish that I was referring to on the Monet frame. This is called décapé, or knock the tops off. And actually, you can see down here where not only did they put a gray wash on the frame, but they ended up taking some sort of a wire brush and hitting it and knocking it up to make it look like it was more antique. So this kind of fakery is typically done along with the scrubbing the tops and bringing the bold color through. What's interesting also about this is that it's got a silk liner, not a linen liner. And so Mr. Krieger was changing the colors of the fabric on the inside edge and changing the texture of it to suit the painting. So it's very calculated how all these things are put together. And this piece here, this piercing here, this is a carved wood frame, but it's most likely a machine carved frame. And it does have a lot of handwork on it because the gilding has to be hand done. But it's a way for modern frame makers to make the job go faster and actually turn a profit if they're going to survive.